Good evening. Time is 7:01, and we will call the January 9th, 2022 Oak Park Board of Education organizational meeting to order. And the first item we have is swearing in and seating of newly elected members. We do have one newly elected member here. That is Trustee-elect Madison. And so if you are ready, we will swear you in to get started.
I am.
You ready? Okay, good. You want to stand?
Sure.
Do I need to stand for this? I'll stand with you. Making jokes. All right. Raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the
the
office
duties of the office
of member of the Board of Education
of member of the Board of Education
of Oak Park Schools
of Oak Park Schools
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. We also have Trustee Lunkins. She's not with us this evening, so I look forward to swearing her in, or we look forward to having her sworn in when she's able to join us. But congratulations to you, Ms. Madison. Any words?
Thank you for having me. Can't wait to work.
Can't wait to put you to work. So that's awesome. That's good. All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And with that, Ms. Greer, if you would please call the roll.
Cochran.
Here.
Davis. Here. Elvin.
Here.
Hoda.
Here.
Lunkins. Madison.
Here.
And Smith.
Here. Thank you. We do have a quorum, and we will go into the item number 3, which is our election of officers. The first office that we will have the election for is president. And so with that, I'll call any nominations for the office of president.
Yes.
Good.
Go ahead.
Trustee Hoyter?
Go ahead, Trustee.
Trustee Smith.
Trustee
You go ahead.
Smith? Trustee Hoyter? Somebody, please.
Okay. I would like to nominate President Elvin for a second term as president of the board in recognition of the wonderful job that he did in leadership this last year with a lot of twists and turns that we face, and looking forward to another year under his leadership.
Support.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the office of president? Any other nominations for the office of president?
Do you accept the nomination?
I do accept the nomination, and seeing as how there aren't any additional nominations, is there a motion to close nominations for the office of president?
So moved.
Motion is made. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, to close the nominations for the office of president. We need to do a vote on that too, so
No,
So can I make a motion?
it's a, say again?
Can I make a motion?
You can.
I move that Elvin be elected president of the Oak Park Board of Education effective January 9th, 2023 through the next organizational meeting in January 2024.
Support.
Okay, the motion made by Hoyt, supported by Smith. Any question on that motion? Hearing none. Ms. Greer, call the roll.
Cochran.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Elvin.
Yes.
Hoda.
Yes.
Madison.
Yes.
And Smith.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you for that. We will go to the vice president. So are there any nominations for the office of vice president? Trustee Hoyter.
I would like to nominate Trustee Smith for the office of vice president.
Okay, Trustee Hoyter nominates Trustee Smith. Is there any of the other nominations for the office of vice president? Trustee Corcoran.
I'd like to nominate myself as vice president.
Okay, Trustee Smith and Trustee Corcoran. Are there any other nominations for the office of vice president? Okay, that's 3 times, so we'll close those nominations if there aren't any objections to doing so. And is there a motion to nominate someone for vice president? Trustee Hood.
So I move that the Oak Park Board of Education elect Al Smith as Vice President of the Oak Park Board of Education, effective January 9th, 2023, through the next organization meeting in January 2024.
Motion made by Hood, is there a second?
Support.
Seconded by Smith. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Smith,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Alvin,
Yes.
Hoda,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Davis. Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. Trustee Smith, it will
I
be,
actually would like to turn that over to no, because I forgot it comes back and it'll work itself out. I didn't mean to say yes.
okay,
Sorry.
no problem. Could we make that note that?
Yes, please.
This would be a no vote. Okay.
Change it to no.
So the motion passes and Trustee Smith will be the vice president for the 2023 year. Congratulations to Trustee Smith.
You just said that.
You can stay where you are. So quick to get up.
You ready?
So quick to get up. All right, we will go into nomination for the office of secretary. Are there any nominations for the office of secretary?
Yes. I'd like to nominate Trustee Dawn Corcoran for the position of Secretary for School Board, for the Oak Park School Board.
Okay, Trustee Corcoran has been nominated for the office of secretary. Are there any other nominations for the office, Trustee Hoyt?
I would like to nominate Trustee Davis.
Okay. And Trustee Corcoran and Davis, are there any other nominations for the office of secretary? So just making sure there are no more. Okay, Trustee Corcoran, do you accept?
I do not accept.
Do not. Okay, Trustee Davis, do you accept?
Yes.
Okay, Trustee Davis accepts. If there are no more nominations for the office of secretary, and without objection, we'll close those nominations. And is there a motion on the floor to elect Trustee Davis, the secretary?
I move that Trustee Davis is elected Secretary of the Oak Park Board of Education effective January 9th, 2023 through the next organization meeting in January 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Carter, seconded by Trustee Corcoran. Any question on the motion? Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Hoda,
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Smith,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
and Alvin.
Yes. We move to the office of treasurer. Are there any nominations for the office of treasurer?
Yes. I'd like to nominate Dr. Lorinda Davis for the position of, hold on. No, that's right.
She's already, you already.
I forgot. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'd like to nominate Trustee Hoyter as the treasurer of the Board of Education of the Oak Park School District.
Okay, are there any other nominations for the office of treasurer? Trustee Corcoran.
I'd like to nominate myself for treasurer.
Okay. Any other nominations for the office of treasurer? Okay, hearing none, we'll start with Trustee Hoyter. Do you accept?
I do.
Okay, Trustee Hoyter accepts. Trustee Corcoran, just making sure you've nominated yourself.
Yes, I did.
Okay. If there are no more nominations, and without objection, we'll close the nomination for the office of treasurer. And is there a motion?
I second it.
No, we need
Oh, I'm sorry, the motion is for, do you have that written down over there, Mr. Hoda?
Yes, it's
Okay.
in board.
Just say you nominate yourself. That's all.
I just nominated myself.
Hey,
That's all.
I'll say it for you.
Thank you.
Resolve that Trustee Dawn Corcoran be elected treasurer of the Oak Park Board of Education effective January 9th, 2023 through January 2024 organizational meeting.
Second.
Okay. So that's your motion. I'm
Yes,
reading for
thank
you.
you.
So is there a second on that motion? second on that motion? Is there a second on that motion? Okay, no second, then the motion dies. And so is there another motion?
I'd like to make a motion that trustee Menachem Hoyda is elected as treasurer of the Oak Park Board of Education effective January 9, 2023 through the next organization meeting in January 2024.
Okay, so a motion made by Smith, is there a second? Is there a second on that motion?
A second.
Thank you. So motion is made by Smith, seconded by Davis. Is there any question on the motion? Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Hoda,
Yes.
Madison, Smith,
Yes.
Corcoran,
No,
Elvin,
Yes.
I didn't hear him,
Yes.
and Davis. Yes.
Okay, that motion passes. And we'll go to item 4. That's it. First of all, let me, before I do that, I know I'm pretty quick to moving, but congratulations to all those who have agreed and were elected to serve in these roles on the board. So congratulations to all of you.
I guess for promotions treasurer.
We just get her to do everything, that's all right.
Treasurer was stuck in my head.
We will go to item number 4, and I guess I can read this one. Facsimile signatures. Resolved that the board hereby authorizes the use of facsimile signatures of Albert Elvin, President, and Menachem Hoyda, Treasurer, for use in signatures signing checks drawn upon district funds, except those transactions for which other signatures have been authorized by the board, such as contract agreements. The board hereby authorizes the following school employees to conduct such transactions: superintendent, chief finance officer, or designee. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Elvin, seconded by Hoyda. Any question on that motion? Hearing none, Ms. Griffiths, call the roll.
Madison,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Hoda,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
Davis. Yes. And Corcoran.
yes,
Thank you. Going to item number 5, designation of bank depositories for district funds. Do you have it, you want to read it though?
yes. Reserve that the following brokers, dealers, safekeeping instructions, pool accounts, and banks are recommended as depository institutions for school district funds and other public monies coming into the hands of said treasurer, Menachem Hoyda. Or it doesn't say that, but,
It's got more on the bottom, so,
oh, I don't have that. More, what do you mean, more?
Can I read that in?
yeah, why don't you just finish it?
So the brokers, dealers, and safekeeping are Comerica Securities, Huntington Capital Markets, JP Morgan Securities LLC / JP Morgan Clearing Corp., Multibank Securities, and PNC Financial Services Group. The pooled accounts are at MILAF / Public Financial Management, and the banks are Bank of America, Comerica Bank, Fifth Third Bank, Flagstar Bank, Huntington Bank, JP Morgan Chase Bank, Level 1 Bank, and PNC Bank N.A.
Thank you. We'll say the motion was made by trustee Corcoran, even though we had some assistance from trustee Hoyda. Is there a second?
Support.
We'll go with trustee Hoyda for the
Okay.
second.
The attachment. I see it now.
It's all good. I had to look for it too when I was looking earlier, so it's all good. Is there any motion, any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, Ms. Griffiths, call the roll.
Davis,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
Hoda,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes,
Smith,
Yes.
and Madison.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes, and we'll go to item number 6, designation of boards. Designation of boards attorneys. Trustee Smith, would you like to read that motion?
Yes. Resolved that the Board of Education authorizes the administration to utilize the services of the following legal firms as counsel to the board and the Oak Park School District in matters as specified for 2023-2024 school year. Firm of Miller, Canfield, Paddock, and Stone. Firm of Miller Johnson, Throon Law Firm, or Troon,
Yeah.
okay, Troon Law Firm, PC.
It does look like thrown to me, but I guess it's, following monotonous pronounced true. All right, there's a motion on the floor, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made by trustee Smith, supported by trustee Davis. Are there any questions on that motion? Hearing none, Ms. Griffiths, call the roll.
Smith,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Fota,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Elvin,
Yes.
and Colbert.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. We'll go to item number 7, establish board committees. I've been thinking about this for a while. I know that there is some of our board members have been wanting to have committees that we haven't had in a while, or we have not been, they haven't been operational, I'll say it that way. And we've had a lot of exciting times here in this district. So a lot of stuff happening that we have to focus our attention elsewhere. I've come up with a few possibles here that I'm thinking of, and I'll explain them. So one is a policy board governance committee, which is exactly, what we had before. We had a policy committee that was operating a couple of years back. We didn't have that for 2022, but 2021 we did. And that is a committee that will be focused on board policy and focused on governance in terms of anything that needs to be placed in policy for the makeup and the functioning of our board. And so that is one. Another one is a legislative committee, one that is focused on bringing updates that are relevant to legislation that would affect this board and any other important legislation relative to education. And so that's another one that would provide those updates to us, as well as also take any recommendations that we have back to our legislators as well. And then the third is a community engagement. We had this one before. It did not function the way it should have, but the plan here would be for hot button or important issues or things that the community has provided us with feedback on, that we as a committee would then hold discussions in public on that as a committee, and allowing to the public to have some feedback and give and take, as opposed to the general feedback that we have at the board meeting level, where it's one-way communication. So those are the committees that I'm thinking that would help us move forward. But I'm open to feedback, and if any or all of them are horrible, we can start over again. I would say to this group that if you agree with any of these, we will come back at the next meeting to make the appointments to who would serve on which committees, just to give you all some time to think about them. But I'm open now to feedback. Is there any feedback on what I've stated? Trustee Smith, you seem like you're ready to go.
Well, yeah, I actually wanted to move to table the committee selection and appointments until we've had further discussion, or we're able to have further discussion.
Okay, do you move that we table this item? Okay, there's a motion to table. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, the motion was seconded by trustee Hoyter. You have a question on this motion, or relative to?
Yeah, it's about this motion.
Okay.
So, just so I understand, we're tabling it just to have a discussion on who we're gonna, feel fit for these, 3 policies, or are we having?
He's moving to table this item of establishment of these committees to another time.
Understood.
Not who would serve, but just to set them up now. He's moving to table that to another time.
Right, because there's also some more committees, I think, other than these 3,
Okay.
that we need to have discussion on, and
That's
see
fair.
where there's a fit.
That's fair. That's fair. And
Now I have a clear understanding that there are others that you,
So it's a purpose so we can brainstorm those, like why not?
So that, I mean, to me, I thought this was that opportunity to
Yeah.
brainstorm and to kick it over now. But if this is something that's not, you're not ready to discuss, that's fine. We can vote on this motion, and if it fails, we'll discuss it. now. So that's where I'm at. Anything else on this motion? Trustee Corbett.
Those other committees that you're speaking of is just not what you
They're not
mentioned.
listed, right.
They're not listed.
They're not something that I have, but I mean, this is that time. If you have something else, it's the time is now for us to establish these. So if you want to do that, we can do it now, or if you move, I mean, if this motion passes the table, we'll do it later. Okay?
I have a comment on the motion.
Yep.
So the reason I supported the motion is I think that what would be a helpful process is for us to have a longer conversation in the form of something like a retreat where we really understand what our vision is for board functioning. And then once we have that in place, I think committees would fit in within that vision rather than doing that first before we set that. So
More-
that's my,
Okay.
From my side, more than willing to do that. Where I've had some problems from you know what, we'll deal with this motion because I'm really getting off topic, and then I'll state what I need to state. So if you would please call the roll, Ms. Greer.
Can you restate the motion?
The motion is to table the establishment of board committee.
Thank you. Davis,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Alvin,
Yes.
Hoda,
yes.
Madison,
Yes.
and Smith.
Yes.
Okay, so motion passes the table. We can then connect on doing a retreat, which I know that's also been a burning desire. My concern is that I've talked to several people. I know we can't do it on Saturday and Sunday. There are some people also been feeling some consternation about Sunday. So I will hold for like a Sunday 4-hour late afternoon and see if we can get that done.
Or
And
even a weekday evening.
or a weekday evening, if that works better
Or
for us.
weekday, I can do weekday during the day.
I will see if I can poll, and we'll see if we can get something on the books, and as well as have somebody come and help facilitate that too, because that's been something we've been wanting to do for a while, so.
And I've offered to help on that, like if you need help on that, whatever.
Perfect, thank you very much. I accept. All right, we will go to committee appointments, not these committee appointments, but there are two others that we need to appoint. Item 8A is trustee to Oakland Schools Budget Committee, and though there wasn't a motion in there, I have one that resolved that the Board of Education appoints trustee and I would say trustee Menachem Hoyda to serve on the Oakland Schools Budget Committee, seeing as how he is our new treasurer.
Support.
Is there,
Support.
the motion is made by myself, supported by trustee Smith. Any question on that motion? Mrs. Greer, please call the roll.
We don't need a roll call, that's enough.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
That's why there was no motion. All right. Well, it will be trustee Hoyt then. So, unless you okay with that?
Sure.
Thank you. All right. Well, this one there is a motion for. Okay, so we'll go to 8B. Oakland County School Board Association Government Relations Committee. And the Oak Park Board of Education must appoint a trustee to the OCSBA Government Relations Committee. The appointed trustee will be asked to attend the GRC meetings, serve as the board's contact for legislative communications, and share information with the board. Meetings are currently held on the first Wednesday of each month from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Right now, virtually on Zoom. Is there someone?
It will be ongoing virtually on Zoom as well.
It'll be ongoing. So trustee Hoyda has been serving in this role for the last year. Prior to that, I did it. Is there someone who would like to represent the board on the Government Relations Committee?
Sure.
I
Dawn
nominate
Corcoran will
Dawn.
do it for you. Yes, I'll nominate, I will accept that Oakland Schools Board of Education Association Committee. You said first Wednesday of every month,
It's held the first Wednesday of each month from 6:30 to 8 p.m.
and that's Zoom.
on Zoom. And you said it's going to stay that way?
It's going to stay.
It's going to stay that way.
You sure? Sure.
Yes, because there was a law, the legislature passed a law last year that says that Oakland Schools is not allowed to hold any events on their campus that include school districts if they don't also include charter schools. And so, we used to meet at Oakland Schools, since that's no longer going to be available to us without including the charter schools who have different legislative interests than the public schools. They decided to hold them over Zoom, over the OCSBA Zoom, which is not subject to that same law.
So,
And I will emphasize that any board member is welcome to attend those meetings, but only one board member per district has a vote.
and that would be you, trustee Corcoran, and so, and I know there, like, our attendance there also means some sort of benefit to us later on, is that right?
They're not unfamiliar to me. I've been in these meetings, so I'm very familiar
Okay.
with the asking. Mr. Otis been there when I've been in some of the Zooms.
For the legislative committee?
For the, no, for
Government
the Oakland,
relations?
no, for the Oakland School Board, the association, you know, the OCSMB.
Are you referring to the OCSBA dinners or the
No,
government
I've
relations
been-
committee meetings?
During, not the committee meetings, but the general meetings that they've had.
Right, so this is regarding the government relations. committee.
Correct, I understand.
Yeah. So districts being present, and any board member can be present in order for a district to be marked present. When it comes time for I believe both the MASB conference and the legislative conference in January, they offer discounts to districts who have attended a certain number of meetings, so.
Okay, so you good to go?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Trustee Davis, you want to read the motion? If you have it up.
Resolved that the Board of Education appoints the trustee Don Corcoran to serve on the OCSBA Government Relations Committee for the 2023 calendar year.
Thank you, trustee Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion made by trustee Davis, supported by trustee Smith. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Smith,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Fota,
No.
Alvin,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
and Kaufman.
Yes,
All right, motion passes. Okay, trustee Corcoran will be our trustee to serve on the GRC, so congratulations for that. Look forward to hearing some of the feedback coming out of those meetings. We come to the part of the meeting now where the public has an opportunity to address the board if it so desires. Public participation is one-way communication in which members of the public are asked to address the full board with the understanding that board members will not be able to respond. Just a note, this is one of two meetings that we have this evening, so we'll have another public comment for the second meeting too, so it's it's up to the member of the public if they wanted to speak now or they want to speak in the second meeting. But trustee Smith, would you please provide the public comment guidelines?
Yes. Because the Oak Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public, we welcome public comment on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against a school board member or a school district employee that disrupts the order of the meeting and is totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the right of others, speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, such comments may result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that comments remain focused on the topic or issue and not be directed at specific personnel or board members.
Okay, members of the public who wish to address the board should have filled out a public comment card. Are there any members of the public who wish to address the board?
Yes, I'm Curtis Daniels.
Mr. Daniels, the floor is yours. I'm going to give one guess.
Yes, absolutely, yeah, I'm here. Always a blessing to be here.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to everyone. And I hope y'all have a prosperous year. Y'all know what I'm here for, the Skilled Trades Career Fair for 2023 for the District of Oak Park Schools. That's the promotion I would like to see that's going to be fostered, that's going to be promoted, and that's going to be in demand for the school kids here in this district of Oak Park. I just had another career fair in Grosse Pointe, which was a very beautiful career fair we had there. I did one here last year. This year I want to do another one. I want to do one with like 20 to 30 tradespeople going to come in and promote the skilled trades from the state police to the military from down to the Carpenters Union, which I represent Local 687, Michigan Regional Council of Carpenters, to the pipe fillers, crane operators, to 324, just so on, so on. So we'll hear it again. I got to keep on promoting the skilled trades because it's a demand. It's a lot of work in the state of Michigan. We just landed another contract for $130 million for another bridge to be built. I'm at the Gordie Howe International Bridge, which is a bridge that we're building from the United States to Canada. The biggest project throughout whole North America. And I would love to see some of our graduates here from Oak Park, other school districts, if they don't go into college, that they take advantage of the skilled trades. We have a school we just built in Detroit, a $30 million school. The tuition free and the books is free. I don't know why no one is getting those kids that's graduating is just sitting there, not to taking advantage of this school. It's not just only for Detroit, it's throughout all Michigan, and they are welcome. We do not discriminate on accepting ones. It also can be return citizens. It could be someone that's from this district that's just trying to get a job, trying to change their life, trying to get to a career. And the skilled trades is in demand for all that. And the Michigan Regional Council of Carpenters, Local 687, I represent that. And I'm here again this year. And I hope that we can try to get 2 career fairs this year for the school here in the District of Oak Park. That's all I would like to say. I hope y'all stay on board on that.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who wish to address the board? Okay. If nothing else then, without objection, we'll pass a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, the organizational meeting is hereby adjourned at 7:34, and we'll get like 1 minute and we'll get ready to roll into our regular meeting. right, the time is 7:38. We'll call the January 9, 2023 Oak Park Board of Education regular meeting to order. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Corcoran,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Elvin,
Here.
Hoda,
Here.
Madison,
Here.
and Smith.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Recitation of the district mission and vision. It's on your agenda. Oh, Trustee Hoyter, would you please?
Our inclusive learning community provides the best academic and social experiences by educating the whole child, one child at a time. And our vision is cultivating visionary leaders and compassionate citizens to be engaged in the global community.
Thank you, Trustee Hoyter. As we go to item 3, approval of agenda. I assume everyone has seen the agenda for the evening. Are there any questions on that? Okay, without objection, we'll pass a motion to approve the agenda by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, the agenda is hereby passed. We'll move to item 4, consent agenda. There are 3 items on the consent agenda: approval of minutes, approval of personnel actions, and financial statements. Is there well, if without objection, we could pass a motion to approve the consent agenda by unanimous consent. Is there any questions on that, on what's on the consent agenda, any issues with what's on there? Okay, hearing none, then, without objection, that consent agenda is hereby passed, and we will move forward. Thank you. We'll go into item 5. Nothing, and then we have some speakers, so we'll go to item 6A, well, 6, which is Superintendent Angela Abdulahad.
I could defer to the mayor, and then I'll go after.
Okay, so we'll go to item 6A. Mayor Marion McClellan, City of Oak Park. Madam Mayor, welcome.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Good evening, Superintendent Abdulahad, members of the school board, and residents. I'd like to congratulate you on School Board Recognition Month. You work so hard to help our kids in our district, and it's about time somebody appreciated it. I am here to wish members of the school community a successful new year and welcome new members to the board, Dr. Larminda Davis and Paige Madison. Thank you for serving our community. Appreciate it. We would not get along without volunteers. I want to thank all of you who sent prayers of healing and calm after the death of my husband, Keith. Your support meant the world to me. There was a terrible event at the basketball game that saddened all of us. We pray that the innocent victim recovers completely and his attackers are brought to justice. I'm here to talk frankly about some other issues that have been sore points between the city and the district so that we can heal together and work together, because we certainly are in the same boat, brother. Whatever benefits the school district benefits the city. I am a retired school teacher with 32 years experience. There is nobody more in favor of public schools than I am. So behind you 100%. I also want to make clear that all students attending the Oak Park School District are welcome members of our community, no matter what city they live in. When I come to visit, and I'm with you guys a lot for Career Day or for March's Reading Month or anything that I'm invited for, I come and talk to the kids and say that, Winterfest is coming, and I would tell the kids about that, and I would say, all of you are officially invited by the mayor and your families. No matter what city you live in, you are a member of the Oak Park family. So I have been making that clear for the 12 years that I have been mayor. Mark your calendars, by the way. Winterfest is Sunday, the last Sunday in January, January 29th, from 1 to 4. And of course, as always, everyone is cordially invited. Another issue that I've heard about is that economic development projects are planned for sites not in the Oak Park School District boundaries. Yesterday, Rudy Hobbs called me. He was driving down 9 Mile and called to rave about the linear park, which is just adjacent to the school district, but is attracting everyone in that area, and is raising home values there. Our secretary is Mrs. Patricia Wright. She lives there, and she said, I can't believe how fast the home values have gone up because of what's happened on 9 Mile Road. So this benefits all of us. It's landscaping, trees, and gardens. It's the most attractive park in the city of Oak Park. Since I've been mayor, people have been requesting a dog park. And so we are opening one on where Scotia ends, south of Albany. It'll be another highlight. It will beautify a formerly empty field and give dog owners and their pets a place to socialize. Coolidge Place was added. Beautiful, beautiful development on Coolidge near 8 Mile that added 60 units of housing in the Oak Park District. The Armory site that was vacant in 2011 when I started is now 100% developed with the FedEx facility, a brand new humongous warehouse rented by tire wholesalers. It's their district, it's their headquarters now, and they will slowly add value to the district. On Greenfield, there's Savvy Sliders, Foot Lockers, and Arby's. Another problem is the dilapidated state of the roads. It's the thorn in the side of every city across the country. We have 80 miles of road in Oak Park, probably 60 needs some repair. It costs over $1 million a mile to repair roads, but because of cuts in state funding to cities, we only budget $2 million a year to fix them. So how do we pick which roads to repair first? The engineers have specific criteria for road deterioration in 10 stages. The worst roads are fixed first, no matter where they are in the city. The engineers drive the roads and evaluate them using, it's called the Passers Ratings, P-A-S-E-R-S, if you want to look it up. So it's totally objective, has nothing to do with where the road happens to sit. And the only time that I have ever pulled rank to jump ahead for a road repair was not for my street, Balfour, which was a hot mess, but for Granson, right in front of the district office here, because it was an embarrassment having people coming from other districts and having to drive over rocky roads. So I stood up to the school district to get that road paved out of its order. The city is spending $3 million on fixing North End. There's the city always tries to fix roads near the school during the summer so it doesn't disrupt the school year. But you've heard from everybody who complains about everything that you can't get cement, you can't get contractors to come on time. I know that you as a district have experienced similar frustrations, so the slowness is not the fault of the city, it is just the fault of the times that we're in right now. If you have any issues, if you hear rumors, if you have concerns, take out your pen. I have cards for everyone. My cell number is on my card. So anyone in the city of Oak Park can call the mayor 24/7. My middle name is Accessible. The number is 248-217-1883. We will all problem solve together because we're in this together. I thank you so much for your time and attention.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Superintendent, go ahead.
Thank you, President Alvin. I want to start off first. We're saying our thoughts and prayers are to go out to the families and students that were impacted by this horrific event that occurred on Friday after our basketball game. It was a horrific act of violence. Please keep your thoughts and prayers with the young man who is in stable condition and by the grace of God is doing well. We've been in communication with the parents daily, and we're continuing to work with them, and it's going to be a long road to recovery, but could have been worse. In the next upcoming weeks, you will see some changes, which we shared out with the staff today, with regards to after-school games in events. During games, there's no reason for people to become a spectator that are not part of the home team, or the visiting team, which is what occurred on Friday. And so we're making some changes. We notified other districts that some of the changes will take place effective immediately. We've been working with Chief Cooper and Oak Park Public Safety, and they've been remarkable in their response and collaboration. As always, we will continue to be open and transparent with the community. Everything that we share out via Facebook or email or PR statements are intended to be open with the community, our students, our staff, and all stakeholders. In upcoming weeks, I will continue to update the community and the board and the staff. But everyone has been remarkable in their response to this crisis, and I applaud all their efforts. You could tell by my voice and the rest of the team, we spent almost the entire weekend here working in preparation for a meeting today with the staff and to receive the students tomorrow prepared. That being said, I appreciate all the support that we receive, but we ask you to continue to provide the support to the families that have been impacted by this. Now, as you know, January is School Board Recognition Month, and we wanted to do something special. So what you have before you is an appreciation award in recognition of your commitment and dedication to the services as a member of Board of Education for the Oak Park School District. You are all an inspiration to us, and it really makes our job easy when you always offer services. Every call I get from you all is, what do you need from us? What do you need from us? And I'm taken back every time I hear that. When my board president says, how are you doing? What do you need? When the vice president is calling me, when Trustee Smith is showing up, it's just, it says a lot about this board, and we appreciate it. Inside the gift bags, you will see a Oak Park sweatshirt. This time we got the right sizes. Got the right sizes. I didn't screw up this time.
Told you I don't worry about that.
We screwed up, but not this time. But now we screwed up on the award for it, so we'll fix that. But the certificate of appreciation reads for your dedication to our children in public education. It's signed by our students, by our staff, and by central office. Honestly, it takes a whole village. And this is what you're showing us, that you're part of this village and the success of Oak Park Schools, and we thank you for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And with that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you just went right into item 6C too, so is that everything from 6C as well? You have the board recognition?
Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I am all good.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you. With that, we will go to item number 7.
I'm sorry, it was the superintendent's report, right? Is that,
Yes, but he deferred to Madam Mayor. She already went. And so then we had him, and then he had board recognition, so he did both of those at once.
would that be open up to questions at all?
Do you have, oh, sure, you had a question? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had a question, for Mr. Abdul. I know what took place this weekend. It was very touching. And I, just wanted to know, will there be any intensive training for the teachers, like awareness training or any type of training that is in the works? You know, what you all were contemplating on this weekend, because no one ever wants this to ever get to this state. But I just thought this whole weekend myself, it was really difficult, you know. So I just started just brainstorming on what to really ask, and really it is just really you don't know what to ask, but the first thing came to my mind is awareness, and I just wanted to know, is there anything in the...
So, there is, but the game was smooth. There was no incidents. Our team won. Everything was fine during the whole time it was at dismissal. In hindsight, when we start reflecting, absolutely, we always reflect, and the team has reflected on what could we have done better, how can we provide dismissal differently. So we came together. We are meeting with a team on the 16th to discuss more crisis prevention. Today we spent the time dealing and working with the staff because they also have to be prepared. They are also impacted by this. So we modified the schedule today to allow the staff to feel good with the plan so they're not kept in the dark. So we shared with them everything. The game plan, they came together, they collaborated, spent the whole day working on stuff. So come tomorrow, they're prepared. Now, our administrative team started planning on the security portion of it. Entryways, games, securing parameters, before dismissal, what we're going to do. So we're working on the plan. We will share it in our update. And then once I share it with you in the update, I will present it at the next board meeting. But really, it's a collaborative effort. Today at 10:30, we spent hours with the staff, and we left nothing. We didn't put anything in the parking lot. We didn't do any of that. We answered all the questions. If we didn't know something or we overlooked something, we said that's something we overlooked. Great idea. But really, like the statement of it takes a village. The staff know the kids the best, so we have to entrust them because they're our eyes and our ears. They know the kids. They spend 7 hours with the kids. And so we have to listen to the staff. But we also have to provide grieving time for the staff and social emotional support for the staff because they also have triggers. So it takes a lot. That's why in the next upcoming weeks we are going to share out some things. But I will share them with the board in the Sunday update.
Counseling and different grievances?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Trustee Smith.
Yes. The day of the incident, well, first I would like to say, prayers to the impacted families. I jumped into a response mode immediately to come and see and assist where I could, be a support and keep communication with President Elvin, but to assist the superintendent and staff. I have to give, from firsthand sight and experience, kudos to all of the involved admin, the security, the Oak Park safety. and, you know, the detectives, you know, everybody worked cohesively and were able to provide value add in apprehending the suspects. So that was, and then also to witness some of the tools that we put in place, you know, as board members to assist, you know, in identifying some of the culprits. So I just want to say, you know, I was able to witness the cohesiveness through the teams, and I applaud you all. And of course, we can always build upon and build better, but on that day, for what it was worth, it was a good job that was done. So my hat's off.
Thank you, Trustee Smith. Anything, any other questions for Mr. Abdul-Had? Okay, hearing none, we're coming to the public comment portion of the meeting where the public has an opportunity to address the board. If it so desires, public participation is one-way communication in which members of the public are asked to address the full board with the understanding that board members will not be able to respond. And so now it is Trustee Davis that I will call on to provide the public comment guidelines.
Because the Oak Park, I'm sorry guys, my voice is really shaky.
You want me to read it?
No, I got it. Because the Oak Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public, we welcome public comments on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against the school board member or school district employee that disrupts the order of the meeting and is totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, such comments may result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that comments remain focused on the topic or issue and not be directed at specific personnel or board members. And I have 2 cards.
Okay,
The first is Desiree Fuller.
Ms. Fuller, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Hey, how y'all doing? All right, so I'm up here today to extend an invitation on the behalf of my scholars and the Distinguished Knights. So I wear many leadership hats, so bear with me. So you may not know, me and Mr. Barnano, we made the move from 9th grade to 11th grade. So there is a unit that I've created called the College Career and Life Unit. I am going to need assistance when we are conducting mock interviews. Because I want to teach them how to dress for an interview. I want to teach them how to act, how to. So I am asking for volunteers. All right, so that first. It's always an open invitation to visit my class and interact with my big babies. My only thing is you can't just be a fly on the wall. You actually have to interact with them. Mr. Hoyter has visited before. Come and see them, check them out. And they're not shy, so they're going to look at you like, why you not talking to me? All right, just let my principal know first, and you're all good. With the Distinguished Knights, Mr. Smith, Mr. Elvin, Mr. Hoyter, they talk about y'all. They say, where y'all at? They want to see you. You can't leave your babies. We have a mental health fair that's we are currently putting together. So if there are any resources anyone has, feel free to share them with me. The Empowerment Series will resume in semester 2. If you are interested in being a guest speaker or have connections with a dynamic speaker, again, please email me or Javier and let me know. That was it. Thank you.
What's your email?
Desiree.fuller@opsk12.org.
Okay.
Okay?
And who's the next one?
The second is Ramil Miles.
Good evening and welcome.
Good evening,
to Dr. Abdullah, to all of the members of the board. I come to you having kids, as I wore my favorite Band Mom shirt. I am a proud, loud, crazy Band Mom that supports and have been supporting this marching band since my daughter was in the 4th grade, and she now is one of Ms. Fuller's students in the 11th grade. My concern is the band room itself. I know that we are in the middle of doing some reconstruction of HVAC systems, but our band room at the high school is 3 steps from deplorable. There is no air filtration in that room. We have kids that are passing out because it gets too hot in there. And this is all throughout the school. But I'm hoping that I can come together, that the high school in this next coming year is going to be on the priority list for the HVAC systems. If anybody has been in that band room when there are 50, 60, 70, 100, 115 kids in that band room with no windows, no air filtration, it is literally a petri dish for something to happen. I can say thank you that no kids have caught COVID within the room, but also we also have kids who have breathing issues. We have kids who have fainting spells. My kid is one of them, that if she gets too hot, and it's sometimes an unnecessary hospital call or 911 call for these kids. So I'm just asking, as we start looking at, when we start doing these renovations in this next year, please put the marching band room and Oak Park High School on high alert to be the next school that is taken care of, because I don't want to see a kid pass out or have something else worse happen because of ventilation problems. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who wish to address the board? Am I loud enough? Are there any other members of the public who wish to address the board? I don't see any going once, going twice. We don't have any more cards. Okay, so we'll go to item number 8A, action items, school building and site bond, series 2. Trustee Horta, do you have that up?
Right here.
Trustee Horta, if you wouldn't mind.
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education authorize the issuance and delegating the sale of bonds and other matters relating thereto.
Is that it?
Did you want me to read the full?
No, you don't have to read
Okay.
that. Unless any board member is requesting that that whole page be read.
I believe it's 30 pages.
We're not reading that. Okay, there too is good. A motion has been made by Trustee Horta. Is there a second?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Smith. Is there a question on this motion? I know we talked about this before. Is there a question on the motion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Corcoran,
I pass.
Davis,
Yes.
Oda,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay, the motion,
Wait. I mean, it does pass without my vote, but I still wanted to vote.
okay, good.
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes, thank you. We'll go to item 8B, approval of Fifth Amendment to School Office Personnel Staffing Services Contract, Strategic Staffing Solutions. Trustee Davis, would you like to read the motion?
Resolved that the Oak Park School Board of Education accept the Fifth Amendment to the School Office Personnel Staffing Services Contract, Strategic Staffing Solutions.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Hoyda. Is there a question on this motion? I think it's pretty straightforward. Hearing none, Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Smith,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
Corcoran,
Yes.
Hoda,
Yes.
and Alvin.
Yes, the motion passes. We'll go to item 9A. Information items, OPSCD food service, GMC food box truck with lift gate. Mr. Abdulahad,
I will, Dan, are you here? Go ahead, Dan.
Still here. Yeah, this is a purchase, last June, we were to expend $1.6 million in food service funds. We were allotted an extension through this upcoming June 30th. There were items on that list that we were to purchase, or we desired to purchase that were approved by the state of Michigan. A food service truck to replace our current food service truck was looked at through the the Michigan Purchasing Group, and we were looking at a $56,198 expenditure for the lift truck, 15-foot lift truck with a lift gate to replace our current one. The current one is fully depreciated. We're going to utilize that truck to put it towards the maintenance department, who is constantly borrowing the food truck. So actually, it's a win-win. So we'll have two trucks with lift gates that will help service the district. And again, this will be purchased through food service funds.
any questions from members of the board? Okay. Hearing none. We'll go to item 9B, OPS Elementary School HVAC controller panels.
And that's also me.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, what we have is, because we are getting a lot of the HVAC replaced throughout the district, we had the 3 elementary schools this past summer. There are upgrades required for the control panels through Siemens. They are the ones who basically handle all our controls. They service us, they allow us to monitor the heating, the cooling, the maintenance, the electrical. And what's happened is the boards that are currently there will not suffice. They're actually, the MEC1 panels that they have become obsolete. So we have to replace those panels, which will, again, help us better monitor and actually control the heating and air conditioning at the elementary schools. The total for them, for all 3 schools, is $55,055.46 for Einstein, Key, and Pepper Elementary Schools. And these will actually function to not only help with the new VUVs, the vertical unit ventilators, but also the RTUs, the rooftop units, as well as actually heating and cooling and other electrical and mechanical throughout the buildings.
Okay. Trustee Corcoran.
I have a question. The question is coming. Make a statement first. So I went into Einstein a couple of months ago, and they have the units in the classroom that are like literally in the way. And the vents like blow out air. The teacher's desk is here, vents are blowing, the air is blowing out the vent. This, what you're speaking of, is it to, because you mentioned something about the way that the air is going or how they're, because that teacher has paper up to block the air from coming out.
The elementary schools, they were installed this past summer. Each one is getting tweaked. All right, each classroom has basically their own
Like they
functioning
moved out
units.
the way kind of thing, because it's in a blind spot too, where you know, you can actually, there's space right behind it, like someone can hide back there or something, but I was
Yeah,
just.
most of them are right against the walls.
Yeah.
They are actually against the window wall,
Yeah.
and then they ventilate out to the outside. So that's where the exhaust goes. The other air comes into the room, which regulates it. They get a 4-degree swing, 2 up and 2 down from what's the 70-degree mark. So they can adjust it. However, they need to be commissioned. Each of these units have to be commissioned, and to do so, they have testing that goes on with it. And we're this is an ongoing thing that goes on with these. But these controllers that we're looking at will help us to actually regulate them from a distance. So we'll be able to go online and actually look at certain classrooms and say, oh wow, that one's too hot, we can gauge it down.
So you're regulating the temperature of
So actually work to regulate the temperatures, yes.
Can I say something, Dan?
Yeah.
So right now, teachers can't control the design of how it was done. That was what was presented. Same thing with the mixed tiles, because I asked the same question.
Yeah.
Why do we have mixed tiles?
Exactly.
It was a decision that they had made to save money, so aesthetically it doesn't look nice, and they do take up square footage. At this point, you can't do nothing about it, but the teachers cannot control, because what they installed and the controllers are not talking to each other. So that's why some teachers are blocking it, some teachers are freezing cold. The design itself cannot be removed. It is eating square
And
footage.
these are all those units that were.
Those are
inside.
those are all the units on the side with the mixed tiles, yes.
Okay, okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Any other questions around this? Okay, go to item number 9C, disposal of district technology equipment.
Yeah, I could take that one. So, if you remember a few months ago, we talked about actually organizing our buildings. This is stage one of all these things. And you know, we've combed it over. I went through everything. I'm a big techie guy, so I worked with Dan and stuff. These are obsolete. They're waiting, the green light. And board policy states that we do a report. This is our report showing that we're going to discard it. As we discard things, we have to do a report because these are public dollars. So these materials are obsolete, so we're going to discard them. But we first have to let you know of them. So this is the list.
Trustee Hoyle.
In the past, we have had like community sales to sell some of these equipment. I know that a lot of them were saying that they were through their
End of life.
Through their end of life. Is that just from a school district perspective, or is that sort of from an objective perspective?
So we asked IT to, they put a value. So like iPad 2s, you can't update them, you can't do anything, you can't even get anything from community sales. So if there's any value in them, then technology would tell us. So these would have absolute zero value in them. You can't update them with an iPad 2. You can't even, none of the apps, because you can't even update the iOS on them. So right now, they're just there. So stuff that might have some value, we could do some community sales. And we talked about that with regards to the hundreds of AC units that we have. We have hundreds of AC units in boxes. Those could be possibly generate revenue.
I mean, I'm looking at it not just in terms of the revenue for the district, but really more so for opportunities for families that may not otherwise be able to access some of these technologies to have a more cost-friendly opportunity to buy them and have that technology available for students in their...
We could bring it up. I don't even think they have to buy them because, we could but we have to work with IT because if they do have school district information, we have to erase.
The problem is a lot of these computers have, again, school district information on them. It would cost more money for our people to erase those, to basically get rid of the hard drive. You'd almost have to destroy the hard drives. And then they're pretty much useless because the data can't be held on them. Then they need a new operating system, which actually costs more than the computers nowadays. So that kind of public sale for the actual PCs and for those is just not really worthwhile for the dollars that we'd have to spend on it.
Thank you.
Anything else on this one? Okay, hearing none, we will go to item 10, communications. Are there any communications from members of the administration? From members of the board? Trustee Corbin.
Actually, I wanted to, again, touch on the incident that happened this weekend, and I just want the community to know that our superintendent and the administration and the teaching staff, they're working very, very hard and sticking together to come up with better plans that we can avoid these type of situations. As we all know, everyone on this board is a community member, or a community member, and we pay close attention to everything that's going on in our community. And we need to work more with the city, because that is the city. I mean, we are the community. We need to work with our mayor in regards to any type of collaboration of whatever she may need or we may need. And I just want to say that the young man, my prayers are with him and his family.
Thank you, Trustee Corcoran. Anything else from members of the board? If nothing else, I'll jump in. I was thinking about what I wanted to say relative to this. It's, I don't know if any one of you have ever seen the movie City Hall. It's with Al Pacino. In the movie, he's the mayor of the city of New York. And he says in the movie, if a sparrow falls in Central Park, I feel responsible. As a board member here, when something happens to one of our students, I in part feel responsible. I think we all do, sitting up here. I would like to, first of all, say that I have spoken to the young man's family who is shot, and spoke to his mother, spoke to his father. It's good that he's starting to get himself into better spirits, and he's recovering, and I'm glad, he's alive too. I know the family is appreciative of the support they've received from the administration, and I want to thank the administration for springing into action the way it did immediately Friday evening and all throughout the weekend. Keeping us abreast, and any update I received, I passed on to the board. I appreciate that, but at the same time, things have to be done better. And I feel like, Trustee Corcoran hinted at it, we need better collaboration between us and the city. We're right across, the school is right across the street from the police department. I fail to understand how there's not more of a deterrent. I know that we're in a different age. I can't say I understand. I grew up in an era where we weren't shooting each other, and we weren't assaulting grown folks, and weren't assaulting each other in that way. And it's painful to watch that this is what it's come to, not just here, but anywhere. But we have to do better. It's saddening that something like that happened. I could hit my shortest golf club from where it happened to the police department. It's like 100 yards. And it's sad. We've got to do better. I'm going to call Mr. Cooper. Not that, I don't know if it'll help, but I know that you've been in touch with him, Mr. Abdullah, and I know we've asked for some support, and I'm hoping that we'll receive that as we move forward with athletic events. I'll make the same ask, but I'm sure it's already, you already articulated your point. But yeah, it's never good when you have to talk to a parent who's going through something like that. It's never good to be a member of this community to watch something like that happen. And I want to be clear, I don't care where the student lives. If it happened in Oak Park, if it happened on our grounds, then we have to care. I don't care where the assailants come from. I don't care what city the student lives in. He's an Oak Park school student. That's enough for me. Anything else from any other members of the board? Trustee Hoyle.
I have a question. It really goes back to the finance report, but it's not a question, it's not questioning the finance report, but a question about it. I noticed in the past on the finance reports, we would see a projection of the end of year deficit or surplus. I know that that wasn't there. Is that because we haven't approved the audit yet? Or-
You know what, I do have that information, and I'll just include it going forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I just, when I prepared it, I just didn't include it, because you're right, we haven't had the presentation yet. So, you know, in the January financials, you'll see it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else from members of the board? Okay, nothing else. Any addenda?
The
No
next
addenda.
meeting,
Our next meeting, trustee, I got trustee Smith here. Our next meeting, trustee Davis.
the next meeting of the Board of Education will be held on Monday, January 23rd, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the boardroom at the Administration Building.
Okay, thank you. The time is 8:24. Without objection, we will adjourn by unanimous consent. Is there an objection to doing so? Hearing none, we hereby adjourn